Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 36,700 subscribers. Can we get to 37K by the end of the month? Please like this video down below and subscribe to my channel. But before we get started, I have to tell you guys about Lear Capital. We all knew the market had to correct at some point, right? But nobody could have imagined what we're seeing today. COVID-19 is a human tragedy, and it's also an economic tragedy as the global economy is collapsing all around us. How will the markets respond from this point forward? Many economists are predicting a third quarter recovery, but there are still so many unknowns that it is simply impossible to say. But one thing is for sure though, you just can't flip a switch and expect things to return to normal. But headlines are suggesting that there's an upside, and the next upside is gold. Want to make money in 2020? Gold and silver are looking like a good bet, according to Money Week, and that's why many Americans are making the decision to diversify into gold. Since 1997, Lear Capital has been America's top destination for gold IRA and precious metal sales. And receive a free silver coin with your first purchase. Call 800-819-2495 now, and we'll show you how easy it is to buy, sell, or trade your metals. Call 800-819-2495. That's 800-819-2495. Or submit a request from the link in the description. And today we are going to talk again about the 2020 election, and right now I have this map pulled up. It's a novelty map, which is not going to happen, and I was going to do this in a video prediction, but I decided, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that because people are going to get confused. This is a possible election map if the trends that happened from California's 25th congressional district happened nationwide. This is a little bit of a mix between 2016 and 2018 trends. I made the map fairly quickly. It's not entirely perfect, but it's a plausible map of how exactly things would look like in almost all the states Trump won back in 2016 would be actually safe red in this scenario. And a lot of these deep blue states got a lot closer. Even Illinois and New York would eventually have to become relatively within 10 percentage points. And will this map happen? Well, it probably won't. I'm just going to come out and tell you guys no. But Trump can still have a good beatdown on Joe Biden in 2020, despite what's going on. So obviously you have this big global pandemic right now, but Trump can still beat Biden. He just needs a game plan. And I'm going to tell you 11 reasons why Trump is still going to beat Biden, assuming that he follows through with, I guess you could say, 4 or 5 of these things, and I'm sure that he will. He might even follow through with all of them, is going to get Trump reelected no matter what. It doesn't really matter what the economy is doing right now, because the economy, it had to go down at some point. I think most Americans know that aren't in some far-left echo chamber that this is not the president's fault. Yes, some people are blaming him, but it's not 50% of the public. So step one is Trump is going to have to hit Biden on China. Biden has been defending China for years. He's been defending them on trade when he shouldn't have been. He's, crafted the TPP, which gave China big leverage. He defended all of these globalist resolutions, things like the Paris Accord that we would abide by, but China wouldn't. So Trump is going to have to hit Biden hard on China. He's already started to do this. He started to do this in the advertisement game. He's hitting Biden very, very hard when it comes to China, and that's a good thing because a lot of Americans, even some people that don't like Trump, are going to be blaming China for this pandemic, and that is huge that Trump attacks Biden on this issue because it can lower the Democrats' enthusiasm level even lower than it already is for Joe Biden. So that's step one, hit Biden on China. Step two is hit Biden on women. This isn't just the Tara Reade thing. The number one thing Trump can do is call out Biden for the things he said surrounding the Tara Reade, because he's acting like a guilty man. He's even going out there saying, "Oh, if you don't believe me, don't vote for me," even though polls are showing that 25% of people agree with Biden, and Biden, all the Democrats, a part of the believe all women crowd when it came to Brett Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford, are now backtracking when it comes to Tara Reade. So that's a hypocrisy that Trump needs to exploit. Doesn't really matter if Tara Reade is telling the truth 100% or not. And it's possible that she is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Biden. We've seen him act like a total creep around pretty much every single woman that he's come in contact with. So hitting Biden on the woman issue, that's definitely something that any Republican needs to do in order to capitalize on the situation. So Trump is going to have to do it. So step 3 is hit Biden on the swine flu. Well, why are we talking about something that happened 11 years ago that was already settled? Well, the bottom line is 60 million Americans got swine flu, and Obama did very, very, very little to stop the situation. So obviously swine flu is nowhere near as invasive, it was nowhere near as deadly as the coronavirus, but in terms of having somebody deal with a global pandemic and calling travel restrictions hysterical xenophobia in the process, that's a total and complete joke. So obviously Trump is going to have to hit Biden on that issue, and he already has in advertisements, and we've seen Trump gain in the polls a little bit since he started to advertise, at least on YouTube, about the situation. So that's a good thing. He's going to have to hit Biden on his past record, including the swine flu back in the Obama administration. Okay, now this is another thing to do with Joe Biden. The last thing Trump will have to do to win in 2020 that includes Joe Biden is make Biden debate him and attack him. Because one reason why Biden was able to come out of the Democrat field unscathed was partially because he was never seriously attacked. The one time he was attacked that he had to defend himself greatly was actually, it wasn't Bernie Sanders, it was against Kamala Harris, and then he dropped significantly in the polls. Harris saw a significant rise. Trump has to make his whole debate surrounding Biden a firestorm, exactly what Harris did to him. Obviously, this is why they wanted to keep Tulsi out of the debates when she was one of the only people in the race, partially because they knew that Tulsi would go at Biden. Bernie is a major wuss. He's the so-called revolutionary. He's too much of a weak man to attack Biden where it actually hurts. So Trump is going to have to go after Biden during the debates effectively. He doesn't have to defeat him soundly. He just has to be effective in his debate tactics, even using some of the same tactics he used against Hillary Clinton, Ted Cruz, because honestly, people are going to say Trump lost all 3 debates to Hillary, but honestly, if you look at it, I think the debates were one of the more effective things that mobilized his supporters to come out and vote for him, because he was that guy taking on the elite on a national stage and just punching them out. So obviously, I think that's another big thing that Trump is going to have to do. Okay, so step 5 has to do, we're moving into the virus territory. I think Trump has to tout virus successes while downplaying any potential failures, because the Democrats are going to use metrics. They're going to be like, oh, Blumpf has 90,000 people. It's all his fault. And it's not the majority of the population. So Trump is going to have to keep saying the good things he's done, the travel restrictions, the use of the Defense Production Act, things like that. Trump is going to have advertisements that are highlighting those successes, and if he's able to do that, he's going to be much more successful as a result. And another thing to do with, this is number 6, another thing he has to do with our economy right now, he has to tout his business successes in the past, his record. Because Democrats always like to point out, Blumpf was bad businessman, he went bankrupt in the 90s, which is true. Trump has never shied away from that. But the bottom line was the next decade he was able to recover. He was able to come back to a certain extent. So Trump is going to have to say, we're going to make America great again. We're going to lead another great big American comeback if you vote for me and give me a second term. And polls are already showing that people believe that Trump is better suited to handle an economic recovery than Biden. If not, I firmly believe that Trump would lose in a landslide, but that's not the case. Trump's running against a weak man, and people still trust Trump's economic abilities. So for that record, Trump is going to have to tout his business status, saying, we're going to make a comeback. I made a comeback. Now the whole country has to make a comeback. Step 7 is he's going to have to stir up some of the economic anger in the Rust Belt at the Democrat governors. Whitmer, Tom Wolf, Evers, they are going to get more unpopular the longer people wait inside, and Trump has a case to make against them, obviously. Personally, I do think that Trump will be able to stir up anger at these people. He's going to Pennsylvania. He'll come to Michigan eventually at some point, and he'll have to go against the Whitmer nonsense that's taking place here, and a lot of Republicans will stay mobilized as a result, so that's another big issue. 8 and 9 go together. He's going to have to stir up the American nationalism. He's going to have to say, oh, we're America. We've been hit hard by the invisible enemy known as the virus coming from China. So we have to stir up a sense of national unity, and part 9 is he's going to have to tout immigration restrictionism. He's going to have to say, you know what, screw this, America first. I'm going to put American workers first. I don't want new people coming over here when we're going to have this massive unemployment, when we're going to have so many people in this country unemployed. We don't need another, million people pouring through. Hopefully he can do an indefinite immigration moratorium to at least the end of his presidency because of it, and it's going to be good, especially because, just to let you know, the less immigrants that come to this country, the less voters Democrats have. So keep that in mind for future elections. Step 10 is he's going to have to keep voter fraud in the conversation. Democrats are going to say, oh, this isn't fair, he's stirring up potential false narratives, but I really don't care. This is about winning an election. Trump is going to have to keep talking about voter fraud and mail-in ballots because Republicans are going to become more energized to vote at the thought that the election could be stolen. So Trump is going to have to keep doing that. He's going to have to basically say, you know what, there's going to be voter fraud. You're going to have to vote. Mail-in ballots doesn't really matter either way. Even if mail-in ballots end up helping him at the end of the day, it's still important that he keeps talking about this because it mobilizes voters. Step 11. This is the last thing, and it ties into all of this. Keep the energy high. If you look at this map, this is what would have happened if the energy was super high above the Democrats like it was in California's 25th. The enthusiasm gap right now, Trump has a positive 35% enthusiasm gap over Joe Biden. That's a very, very good thing. Now, what's going to have to keep happening is he's going to have to keep the energy high. He's going to have to keep retweeting supremely based meme accounts. He's going to have to keep doing that sort of thing. And as long as he's able to galvanize every single aspect of the party or just his base, from the independents and Democrats who left the Democrat Party to support him because they felt disillusioned, to even the cringe neocons like Nikki Haley and Ben Shapiro, to the based paleocons and paleo-libertarians of the party. He's going to have to unify everybody somehow. He's going to have to keep the energy high in all the factions, and he's going to have to build the strong coalition once again. And if so, he's going to be able to win at the end of the day by a landslide that people will not expect, judging the common circumstances. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, join the Discord and subreddit, donate to the Patreon or subscribe, star links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.